we're just going to log in as a teacher here. And in this view, we can create our new users, either manually, like we're doing here for a student, or we can import a big range of students from a CSV file, so a simple database that's in an open format. So you see this new students popped up. They've been given a default group for their class. So this allows you to control the exercises that new students are going to see on the simulator. Now onto the groups. These are like our classes. So we can create new ones by clicking the plus and changing the title of the group. So we could have first year, second year, or restorative endodontics. So to bring people out of the default group, we just click it, click the student, and then use the side arrows. So we've got the students on the left and the groups on the right. Now for each individual group, so this is the classroom that we just created, you can choose which exercises you want in that class. You can filter them here in this view, so familiarization level 1. So the other ones, preclinical block 1, we can add in or take away the other ones within the library. And we can just click the little minus to bring them out after we've added them, if we no longer want them in the group. Now the evaluations, every time a student does an exercise, we'll see a new evaluation. And using the monitoring, the broadcast feature, we can see what's happening on one of the simulators. So here we've got a user doing a familiarization exercise. They've picked up the haptics, chosen their tool, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and do some drilling. So we can see as many simulators that are connected to the classroom. We can pop these screens out so we can actually use them on second screens, the big monitor in the classroom, for instance. And here, when we finish an exercise, you'll see us go through to the self-assessment, which gives us a series of yes and no questions. And then self-reflection, which gives us this really nice interactive rubric where we can create these thought sentences as to how I think I did, and then be able to store that in our learning journal as time goes on. So you can either drag them across or you can double click, that's what the 6 dot represents. And here we can also create our own personalized responses as well. And then we can go ahead and finish that. So now that's a full exercise completed on one of the simulators, and now we'll be able to show you some of the more functionality. So here we're going to sign in as that new student, and you'll see they have a student version of the system, so they only see their own exercises. They get given a score from the simulator. Here's their 3D model, so you can actually export that and 3D print it if you wanted to. And you can complete comments for communication between you and your teachers. You'll see the responses to your self-assessment questions here. And also you have an interactive panel for the self-reflection, so you can review them at any time. So once you're done, your teacher can then log in later, and we'll be able to see that same evaluation review here. So we can see the simulator score, but this time we can adjust it if we don't want certain criteria to be taken into the scoring. We have our 3D model, and we can see the comments that the student has left for us, and we can go ahead and leave them comments if we want to. So same again for the self-assessment questions. we can check out their responses, and we can leave them comments as well. And again, we can use that interactive panel to see what's in their learning journal. As a teacher, we can go ahead and finalize it either with or without our own personalized graded score. And we see now in the evaluations that that is marked as finalized. And if we want to, we can export all of these results in an open CSV file so that we can integrate it perhaps with our own systems that we use in-house, or use them for creating reports for students and similar sort of things. So here we go ahead and export the CSV. And now we're going to log in as an administrator, because there's a few setup processes you can do as an admin. You'll see there's a new tab on the left which says Manager, and we have access to everything that's available on the simulators. And here we have Configure your classroom, so we can change the default password, which is handy if we already have a system in place for our other computers. We can tune the options so we can enable or disenable the new features if they're not very useful for our use case. And we can customize the simulators with our logo for the loading screen. If you've got a university network with LDAP, you can go in and customize the LDAP connection, and in that case we can actually take the user data and the passwords for logins from your network and use that in harmony on the simulators, so the students, the users, will only have one login. Thank you very much, and see you next time.